The other day I saw a friend of mine on Facebook post about how he spends so much time working on things not relating to what he's actually doing for a living to make that living. And it got me to thinking about how we operate the same way. We've been doing Small Town Monsters movies for 4 years now, basically 5 years. We started filming in 2014, but we had been working on sort of getting that started for a lot longer. So it made me think about the amount of time we actually sink into making movies. How much of our time is devoted to things like the business side of what we do, or marketing or promotion. So I wanted to really quickly address that and talk to fellow filmmakers about the logistics and the not as fun as filmmaking side of filmmaking. So in 2014, when we started making Minerva Monster, I would say 99.9% of my time working on our first movie was spent making that movie. So it was either out shooting or working on interviews, helping edit, sending notes to the editor, things like that.
50 miles, the range is isolated.
Right.
Down to their legend and lore is preserved through oral tradition.
And folk art, yeah.
And then jump to Reverend John Todd, once called the Adirondacks of the Wilderness.
As time went on, that progressively changed more and more. We started filming in September of 2014, our first movie, and by December, I had come around to the idea of promoting what we had originally thought would be a very short form documentary that we would be posting to YouTube for free. In that first winter, I began writing press releases and contacting local press and regional press in Ohio. That ended up taking up a huge chunk of time. And I would say early on, I was spending anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a day working either on crafting press releases, marketing our movies, and even interviewing for local radio and TV. As time went on and the business started growing, it became more and more time that was devoted to things other than actually making our movies. So where in the beginning, my full-time job with Small Town Monsters was focused on actually making movies, as time went on, it became less and less of my time that was actually devoted to that filmmaking side of what I do. Over the next 2 years, I would say 70% of my time went to other things than filmmaking. So it became less about editing and shooting and the production side of things, and more about marketing, promotion, the business, even the smaller things like sending DVDs and handling questions. It gets even crazier if you do a crowdfunder every year, which is what we do. We do a Kickstarter each year to kind of fund all the productions throughout our year.
Also, the story of Falk, Arkansas, which is something that we really focus on in these films. We love to dive into the history of the towns where these stories are set. We like to really focus on how the story affected the town and the people who lived there. And obviously, the ultimate small town monster is the Beast of Boggy Creek. And the ultimate researcher on...
If you're working as an independent filmmaker and you feel like you're slogging your way through your daily job of filmmaking, but it's none of the stuff you love. It's all devoted to like taxes and your Facebook marketing strategy and all that. Just know that that's completely normal. Just stick with it. The thing that I see consistently happen is this is the area of filmmaking where people fall down, where they don't understand if you want to do this completely independently, you have to learn how to market. You have to learn how to contact local media, how to handle interviews and contacting podcasts and TV and radio. It's all part of filmmaking, especially if you're trying to do it independently. Small Town Monsters went from probably 1,000 followers on Facebook in our first year, and it's at 32,000 now. And I know that's not much compared to a lot of other film production companies or series or whatever you want to call Small Town Monsters. That was all because of the fact that we were willing to dedicate hours and hours of time to growing that following. We've been kind of learning through trial and error now for 4 years. All I'm telling you is that a large chunk of your time is going to be devoted to actually doing the things that probably aren't a lot of fun. At the end of the day, the worst day of filmmaking is still better than the best day at my old desk jobs. There's some things that you will not be able to find the fun in. Like the business side of what we do is not a lot of fun. How much of a regular work day for me is actually devoted to filmmaking just depends on any given week. But as we've grown, it's become less and less time. It doesn't mean that my work day is shorter or that I'm doing less work. If anything, we're doing probably double what we were 2 years ago. So much of your time is going to go to the things that aren't as much fun. Just know that we're all doing the same thing. We're all slogging along in the trenches trying to make what we're doing work. Just be willing to do that work.